Hey everyone, welcome back. This is Lucid, and we're getting back into this game. It's turn 23, playing Late Age Mictlan. We're getting pretty close to being caught up with where I am in real time, since I got a little bit behind, not as far as I've gotten behind in many other games in terms of recording. You can see we have a ton of diplomacy. So let's see what happens. Man is saying, I remind you of our earlier discussion. In the first fall, I offered... Oh goodness, are we going to read all this? So basically he is saying that he had offered that he was going to give me some things which are already mine so that I could give him some things that I would probably take also. And I declined to give that offer to him. And anyway, he says that since he has secured them through sword and not pen and paper, and since he's holding them now, that he wants those too. So basically the provinces he's talking about here are these two. And he's saying since he conquered them, he's going to get them. It's looking like I don't actually have my move orders loaded in. I did not stale. I think I just don't have them in. I know what I did though, so we'll sort through that. Basically I move... Okay, we'll figure that out in a minute. I'm going to finish diplomacy. A message from Midgard. Basically, there's a plague event that's going around. Another message from Midgard. Ulm has an army in 13. Yeah, so basically he's saying that he can't help us with Ulm. He is distracted with fighting Man. Midgard's actually quite large, so he's much bigger than I am, if you don't count my water stuff. I would like... He has also taken this, which is a bit annoying. But yeah, you can see he actually... So he was up here last turn. He moved down here and sieged this fort, which is probably what I would have done. Well, this is his army of Jarls or Vans or whatever. And they will murder whatever... Oh, look at this. He actually... So Man is using some of these guys. I didn't actually watch this battle. I think I just looked at the outcome. So I'm actually looking forward to seeing what he's going to do. So we can see Twist Fate coming out. And then Summon Earth Power. We'll go on normal speed for this. He's got Wardens here too. Okay, so he's kind of committed to a defense here. And he's got a fair amount of archers. The archers look like they're... Okay, no, they're going to fire. And we'll see if this pops any glamour. Okay. Look how it popped glamour. Now, in melee, it's really hard to pop glamour on high defense Vans. And so this is one of the counters to Vans, as you hit them with archers. Okay, and then he's got Lightning Strike coming out. Now, these guys have shock resistance, if I recall. Okay, they're not all blessed. Oh, no, he didn't bless them all. Dude. Okay, they do have shock resistance, but only shock resistance 5, so it's not going to be enough for a lot of this. Okay, oh, and they're coming in on a pretty good flank, but they're taking a lot of damage. These crossbow shots right to the face. Oh man, they're doing so much damage. These guys are expensive too. I think they're 60 or 70 gold a pop. They may even be more. Maybe like 80. So every time he kills one, it's kind of a big deal. And this is kind of perfect for Man. I mean, Man could not... I don't think he's going to win, and we saw he didn't win because of, you know, the fact this army was on top of the fort. But, I mean, this is perfect. He's got all his super high protection units here tanking the Vans, while he's got a small archer corps here and a crossbow corps here in super close range firing at him. Now, he's got some spells coming off. He's got Body Ethereal, which is not really what we want now. Earth Melt, which is really good against Vans. We'll see what else they've got. Okay, this is Earth Melt. It's on these guys, but... I could be wrong. I don't think defense is involved in archery. Yeah, every time they get hit, they take a lot of damage. Man is getting very close to the point, though, where they're going to rout. Like, this squad is definitely in retreat. So that's too bad. They held out for a long time, but yeah, they don't have a ton of base HP. So even though they're very high protection, eventually they'll get chipped down pretty efficiently. Okay. So it's hard to say. I think if Midgard gets these mages, it's a pretty good attack. If these mages manage to get off the battlefield, and so let's take a look at their fatigue, then it might actually have been a good defense for... Okay, these guys are pretty well fatigued out. Probably two of them will get off the battlefield. Though it depends. Yeah, so if they get the mages, it's really good for Midgard. If he doesn't, and the mages get off, he's killed a lot of Vans. I mean, probably like, we've seen at least 8. Could be more like 10 or 12. Okay, we've seen one of the mages run. Okay, another one is going. And it looks like all the mages are going to get out. Yeah, they're all going to get out. Okay, so this was actually... It looks bad. But this is really about as good as man could have hoped for. I mean, the thing is, when you're playing Midgard, Vans are really precious. They're cap only, they're expensive. Now, some of this was he didn't get all of them blessed. You know, looking at it, this Undying here I think is a mistake. I think what he should have done, especially because these guys are really vulnerable to Archer Fire, I think if you're playing Midgard, one thing you definitely want to consider is taking something like Stygian Skin as part of your bless. That would make them much more immune to the Archer Fire. And then if they don't take damage from the archers, like if it gets negated by protection, I'm pretty sure Glamour stays intact. Okay, so let's look at the battle outcome there. Oh wait, did we not... Dragon Pass? I think there's a hotkey. Okay, so I went and looked and tried to figure out if I could see the report. This is kind of weird because it doesn't show up in my little message screen here, but we obviously could watch the battle. So I went back and I counted how many we started with, and he's got 10 squares, or 11, yeah, 10 squares, because one up here and then 3 by 3, and each one of those has 2 units in it. So what that means is there's 20 dudes total, and so we'll just zip forward here to the end. And we'll count how many he has now. Once they're all nice and grouped up. Okay. Nobody at the back. Okay, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, so he only lost 6 so far. So he probably lost 6 or 7 out of 20, which, you know, that hurts. But it doesn't hurt that much. I mean, on the flip side, he killed a fair amount of PD, and he killed a bunch of Wardens, though I think the gold trade was actually in favor of man. So, for me, where I want both of them to wear themselves out against each other, that's like the perfect battle. But I think for Midgard, he probably wanted better, and I think for man, he probably wanted better. Yeah, so not totally sure what I would have done if I were man. I don't know what his resources were. But that was pretty close. You definitely see how it could have gone either way. I mean, the fact that they killed almost half of the Vans, and if they got to that critical half threshold, you know, you could have started having armies rout, etc. So anyway, going on down... Okay, we have our first message from Utgard directed to me as a player. Hello! I now have a better read on the game, and I'm ready to commit more diplomatically. As far as I'm concerned, although your bless is certainly scary, the current scary thing is Midgard. With only 7 points needed to win, he's starting new wars to find new thrones. And as far as I know, myself and Satis are the only ones on borders with his thrones. So my priority is securing more border thrones with Midgard. Regarding the Indie provinces with skeletons I just took, that you claimed as yours, I'll leave 0 PD there. I assume it was a random event. There's a fairly transparent buildup of troops on my border with Pangaea, including his pretender. I can't discount the possibility that despite you're talking of a 1v1 between us, you have actually planned for a 2v1, given that your army movement to that throne. However, given what I'm hearing from Man and the dumpster fire that is the current Man Diplo, Man Midgard Ulm Diplo, there's a huge opportunity cost for you to not take that army north and just claim all the free land. Also, us having peace and me being able to redirect my forces to the likely Pangaean invasion, which just so happens to be right next to Midgard's throne, which I'm willing to commit to take should the need arise. We can negotiate the details of the NAP if you're interested, but consider me on board for peace now, certainly while Midgard can still throne rush. Okay. And I think that's actually true. I don't think I had really been thinking about how big Midgard was, really until I got this message from Utgard. Okay, wait. Second message from... Oh, and I suspect Pangaea is more confident than his other neighbors. Okay, and I expect Pangaea is perhaps more confident in his other neighbors' peaceful intentions than he should be. So people are planning on attacking Pangaea. Well, I know Satis is. Probably. I think he had mentioned that to me. Pangaea is not that big. Pangaea is pretty small. They're probably one of the smallest nations right now. Midgard's probably the biggest. He's got all this stuff over here. Then he's got all of this. He's definitely the biggest. And I am allied with him. I might kick him out of the ocean at some point. We'll see. I need to build up a little bit more of a little ocean army and get some forts up. And then I'll probably just tell him the ocean's mine. Okay, so what do we do here? We are probably going to take all the slaves and move them. I think I'm just going to kind of play through this as if it were my turn. Because I don't apparently have the turn file saved. Oh, you know what it is? Here, 1 second. I'm going to go ahead and load up the turn file. I think I was traveling, and so I did it on a different computer. Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, so I found the turn file, and yeah, let's play it out now. So, there's not too much to talk about. We took this back. We're going to be taking this back. I'm just sending in a little squad. He said there's no PD, so really I probably only need to send a scout in, but we'll just be a little overzealous and send some actual troops. Not sure if that's wise, but anyway, that's what we're doing. So what's important now is that we have a peaceful border with Utgard. What that means is I can commit to attacking Ulm. I think he was attacking... Okay, Pangaea had some little dudes running around here inside of Ulm, and you can see they got kind of murdered. So we're actually going to go ahead and just jump our whole army on top of this. We can, if he moves this army back, we should be able to kill it. We'll just take a quick look at it so we know what we're dealing with here. Just a big archer corps. And the archer corps, you know, it's a little scary. But I have enough flyers where they'll kill that in like 2 turns. And I'll probably lose some, but whatever. Now, right here we're blood hunting. Now, what I could have done is I could have gone and moved him over this way, but there's a good chance he could attack me also. So we're actually just going to blood hunt here, and then, yeah. May have been smart to take that. Sorry, it's late here. I'm getting the yawns. So that's basically it. We're going to be picking a fight with Ulm. We're not going to be talking to them. I don't really care about Ulm anymore in terms of what he has to say. We're going to be moving. You can see we're doing a lot of slave troop movement where we're trying to get the slaves where I need them to be patrolling for my blood economy. Right here, yeah, we're going to be doing a lot of patrolling. We've got blood hunting going on with 2 guys. Here, we have it going on with 2. This guy has kind of refused to die. I probably should have gone ahead and ferried these off, but I think instead I decided not to. No, I definitely should have. Put him on one of these. What? Okay. I don't know why I'm moving both of them. Okay, I do. We're moving some of these tribe kings up here to I don't want to strip all the population out of this province, so we're moving them up here. We'll pull population out of here, and then to get more slaves, because every time you get a slave, it takes a tiny bit of population away. It's enough where you don't want to spam it unnecessarily, but it's not enough where you want to get anything else for your patrollers or people to hold up fort walls. So that's basically it. We also are moving these guys south. We're going to take this back from Man. He's moved his troops out of here, I guess, probably to fight off Midgard, which makes sense. So I send a message to Man. I say, peace is certainly in our interest. We're especially interested in you winning against Midgard, since I think they're the best nation in a position to have a throne victory. They're also nearing the scary mid-game with Midgard. We would propose a compromise. He's also the biggest nation by a good bit. So even if I definitely don't want Man to take all of Midgard's stuff. Wait, whoops. I do want Man to take some of it, because Midgard is really big. We would also propose a compromise where you take 67 and I take 74. I think that is the right province. We hope you find this agreeable in the long term. I'm trying to enlist Utgard to come to your aid against Midgard, but I'm going to keep a large army positioned near my border with you and Utgard in case the two of you return to old tricks. That said, if all is agreeable to you, let us cement our deal with a NAP 3. I have a score to settle to my north, so I'll leave you and Midgard to it. If you're losing decisively, let me know, and I can raid from the ocean. Okay. So that's my message to Man. To Utgard, I say, let us cement this with an alliance then. You can keep most of the land your predecessor took from me. I just want the one province I'm taking this turn. You'll notice that my large army is moving to the north is moving to the north to sort with a small matter of vengeance. I think you are wise to worry about Midgard. I will stay allied to him until it's clear he is approaching a throne victory. But I'm preparing for either you or Man turning on me in the short run, though I'm inclined to trust you. So I'll keep one large army to oversee that peace is observed near my Man Utgard border. Shall we nap 3 so that you're comfortable moving most of your troops to defend attack against other objectives? Right, so there's a few things I'll just mention about how I do diplomacy, and I've kind of switched. I've stopped doing flowery language and stuff like I was doing with, tribal this and that as much. The thing is, there's a lot of really important things in how you do it. I'll just show you a few things I'm doing here. One is, I'm explaining why I have a large army near him. People do not like having large armies near them where they don't know what they're doing. So if I just said, okay, we have a nap, but then I keep a large army there, it's going to kind of arouse suspicion. But if I'm just very upfront about it, I've got one large army there, they're not going to do anything, and we have a nap, then it's not that big of a deal. And then also, I'm basically saying we need a nap so that we can move our armies to other places. I'm not even going to move my army, just so that he can move his, because he's kind of fortified his border with me. So that is my message to him. I sent him another one, just saying that 91 and 76 were mine from expansion, but I'm prepared to say goodbye to them as a condition of peace. So those were 2 of these over here on my border with him. Message to Pangaea. Proud Panganese, we are seeking retribution against the treacherous Ulm for the next while, but while we have scores to settle with some of our other neighbors, depending on how they continue to act, perhaps we can join forces. Just wanted to see how you see the world. Who are you thinking is a good matchup for the warriors of Pan? Who do you think is closest to victory? So this is kind of just a diplomatic ping. I just want to see what Pan's thinking. Especially as I go to war with Ulm, it would be nice to have him as a partner in crime. Though it's increasingly looking like, with Midgard focused on Man, that it's going to be me 1v1 against Ulm, and so I need to start preparing for that. But that is much better than 3v1. The only problem is my troops are so slow. They're so slow. Yeah, so... anyway, I think that is a lot of the diplomacy there's not too much to talk about. I'm trying to look at all my troop movements. Let's go check out my capital, see what's happening. We're making more sanguine dowsing rods. I'm really trying to get my blood economy going. If we look at it, I got about 40 blood slaves this turn. That is not enough. I need like 100. I need 100 fast. So the key to that is having enough slaves and having enough sanguine dowsing rods and having enough Mictlan priests. And I don't have enough of any of them, so we need more. This is going to be a blood hunting province. I think the guy I have coming in here has, yeah, this guy's coming in with a sanguine dowsing rod. Am I getting all of my sanguine dowsing rods deployed? Yeah. So that's fine. Oh, the other thing, you know, I have this Wraith Sword. I just saw it, and I'm not really using it. What I think I'm going to do is build one of these. Wait. Probably better to go ahead and build, what is this? 14, 14, 12? Okay, these have much worse stats than these do. And the stats kind of matter. This person can quicken self. Actually, quicken self is kind of better. And the stats here are bad too. So I'll have to decide. I'm either going to get one of these, because it's a pretty high HP chassis. No, I think I'm going to get this, because they have the built-in armor and all that. So I'll probably get this, then combine this with one of these as a fluffer, and get them to liquid... I guess she can do liquid body. No, that's on herself only. I'll have to decide. 4 recruitment points, that's a lot. What do I have for water and alteration? Wave Warriors, pretty good. I'm going to be getting that at 6, actually, and that is something that I can definitely use. Yeah, I can definitely... I wonder how close I am. How close am I to 6? I can definitely use that on my big forces. We're pretty close. We're going to have that in 2 turns. Yeah, so I definitely need to be doing Wave Warriors on my big armies, I think. But I do need to find a chassis. The problem is this one has a bad stat line, but it has water. This one has a bad stat line too. I think this is it. I wonder if I have any interesting guys in here that... Yeah, not really. Okay. So, I think that's about it. I think that's it. I think we're also going to be doing some site searching. We're looking here for sites. My site searching is pretty bad. Like, this is pretty horrible. You can see over here which paths we've searched. So we do need to get on it. Part of it, I should just get a Nahuli. I need to get Nahulis all in these things to prepare for war, because my Mictlan priests are not very good at fighting, but my Nahuli are very good at fighting. And they're highly mobile, so they can jump in exactly when they're needed. But here you can see we're not really recruiting anything. I think I started construction on a fort. No, not yet. I think I'll probably start next turn, right here. I was going to site search this too, but unfortunately we got attacked by Indies here, which have cut off these provinces up here, which are kind of a lot of income from my empire. You can see if they're red up here, then you lose income from them because they can't trace back to your to a castle. We're searching up here. I think, do I put this guy on retreat? Nope. He's just going to stand his ground. I am moving these guys up in case Midgard attacks me. We'll just have these guys here. Though if I moved them here, that might have been the better move if I trusted Midgard and just put this guy on retreat. And that way they could join forces with these guys next turn when they attack, but I didn't do that. So I think that's it. I think, yeah, I definitely need to be giving this guy probably a water lens. I wonder if I can forge those. I can totally forge a water lens. So yeah, I think I need to give this guy a water lens, and that way he can drop a Wave Warriors every fight. That would be pretty sweet. Yeah, like this guy, he's just doing cheat fate. I mean, ideally, he's gonna in the future do divine blessing, and then he's gonna be standing amongst all my flying dudes. He'll drop a wave warriors, hopefully hitting as many of the Aussies as he can, and then he'll spam out probably body ethereal. So I have a lot to do on improving that script right there. I think that's about it. I think that's about it. Yeah, so we'll see you next episode. Thanks, guys.